and welcome to my channel. I'm Jess, and this is Canyon Oracle. It's a place where we use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to inspire healing and transformation in the lives of truth seekers just like you. Today we're going to be looking at what your energetic blueprint is in this life. What archetypal energies are you working with? What did you come here with? What are you working through? And what are you working toward? We're going to look at both the light and the shadow attributes of each of the archetypes and how you can really best use them to live a more fulfilled and embodied life. But before we get started, I just have to remind you that these are general readings, so some aspects of the reading may not apply to you, or you may choose a pile and realize that it really doesn't resonate with you at all. Don't ever try to make it fit. You can just move on to another pile or onto another pick a card video entirely. There's so many great readers on YouTube that I've actually really loved watching myself. I have also, before we get started, I have some info in the description box below about a free meditation that I'm giving. To join my mailing list. It is called the Inward Journey Meditation. It's a really powerful lead guided meditation that takes you on a journey to your higher self, where you can actually get downloaded information from the divine. There's more about my work in the description box below, the cards that I'm using. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hang out with you again. So without further ado, we have 3 groups that we're going to choose from today. And before we do that, I just invite you to really kind of get comfy in your chair and put your feet in the ground, let your belly go, and let your breath really drop down into your body. And ask yourself the question, what is my divine energetic blueprint? And then we have 3 groups to choose from today. We have group 1, which is this quartz, pink quartz. We have group 2, this beautiful blue stone. And we have group 3, which is this black stone. I think it's an agate. Bear with me, I don't actually know exactly for sure. Okay, you can pause the video if you need to. The timestamps are in the description box below. And once you choose your group, I will see you on the other side. Hi, group 1. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different kinds of cards today. Some very traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards. We'll really look at them one by one and then see the larger blueprint that wants to unfold. And be sure to stick around to the end of the reading, where we're going to do a special meditation and prayer, really just for you and your soul. The first card that we have is the 3 of Wands. Next, we have the Emperor and the 4 of Wands. Interesting. Okay. So the 3 of Wands is really about being aligned with your vision. So I can already tell right from the start that you are a visionary. Now, coupled with the 4 of Wands and the Emperor card, I can really see that not only do you have great vision for your future and perhaps even the future of humanity, you also know how to really ground it into the physical realm. So a lot of times people can be great at ideas, and they are always coming up with new ideas and they have creative minds, but they actually don't know how to make them manifest in the real world, because that's an entirely different skill set, actually grounding things. Well, this Emperor card, which is a very strong archetype of the major arcana, this is an archetype that knows how to ground things in the world, to make things manifest. This archetype builds an empire in the material realm. This is a very committed energy. This is a diplomatic energy. I'm hearing diplomat, like someone who knows how to bring a lot of different energies together into one single focus. So you might be at the stage in your life already where you have made things very grounded and manifested and real in your life. You might have already built a family, built a business, or you're not actually there yet. You might be in just the first phase of the vision aspect of the archetypes that you're working with. So the visionary is one who sees into the future, but sometimes you have to grow into the next part, and the next part is grounding that vision. But when I see the Four of Wands and the Emperor card, I'm confident that these are strong archetypes that you also have within you. So if you sometimes feel like, oh gosh, I'm always just dreaming of the future and I always have these great ideas but nothing has actually really come to pass in my life, or I'm not where I want to be in life, I would really say don't worry about it, because it's clear in the cards that that's coming. That's coming. So if you start to get ideas about how to make your ideas happen, just know that all of the skills and all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you need to make those dreams manifest will come in time. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Your soul is going on a journey. So I feel like that's important to tell you for some reason. I know that some of you, this is a general reading, so some of you will already be like, oh yeah, I have 3 businesses of my own and 2 homes. And many of you are just going to be like, no, I can see the business idea. I can see the homes and the vacations that I want to go on and the family that I want to build, but I'm not quite there yet. Just know it's coming. It's coming. It's on your path. Okay, so then we have the Art and the Two of Crystals. Now, these are non-traditional tarot cards, but in traditional tarot, this would be the Temperance card, and this would be the Two of Swords. So the Temperance card is about patience, which is interesting because it seemed like an important point that I was making earlier about having a vision and then really allowing for the time that it takes to make that vision become manifested in reality. So the Art card or the Temperance card speaks of this very strongly, which is to say that there is this alchemization process that needs to happen over time, and it takes time. So part of this Emperor energy that is required is patience, because when you build a business or when you build an empire, which is what the Emperor does, he can't give up on his dreams. He has to know that, at one point is the vision, is the idea. Then at the next point, there's the first step, which is just actually going to look at, let's say you want to build a home of your own, right? Which would be the very beginning of an empire, let's say. You have to get the idea that you want to move. So then you have to actually start looking at houses. That's just the next step, right? So then maybe you realize, I haven't actually found a house that I like, but I have ideas about the kind of house that I like. Well, that is going to lead you down perhaps a very circuitous route. And you can't always see the next steps ahead of you, but just know that you are being led and guided, and that each step will build upon itself. So this all really takes time. Whenever you create anything in the material realm, you have to deal with the laws here. And time is one of the big boundaries of this dimension that we're working inside of, is one of the laws, right? So a plant can't just grow from a seed to a tree, rather, overnight. It takes days and weeks and months and years for it to fully come to bloom. So this is an important part of your journey and the archetypes that you have to work with inside of this lifetime. So there is the visionary archetype, there is the builder archetype, and then the emperor, the leader, the guide archetype. But again, all of these take different phases and different times of your life. Because the Two of Swords is really about going inside. Sometimes it can be like a stalemate energy, but in this deck, it's equanimity. So it makes me feel like balance is going to be a really important lesson for you so that you can withstand the tests of time, so that you can actually build your empire, whatever that means to you, or however that ends up looking like in your life. It is going to take time. So it's going to require patience and balance. Now, because we're asking for what are the archetypes that you're working with in this life, again, I know that these are all within you, okay? So it's not something you ever have to go get to become. It is an unfolding process. It is a becoming process. So I think that's just important for you to hear. There's nowhere to get, okay? So then we have the archetype cards that we're going to look at, which I absolutely love. These are by Carolyn Mace. So we have the hero and the heroine. Here, let me put these guys up here. Interesting. Okay, so the light side of the hero and the heroine is a passion for a journey. The shadow side is escapism. So that would be the sort of balance that we're talking about here. Like, it takes a hero to really build an empire. And it also goes with this sort of visionary aspect or the creative aspect of you, right? Someone who can see higher than the rest, but you have to make sure that you take each step. I think that is what the cards really want to tell you today. Also, we have the child orphan. So the light attributes are independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. The shadow attributes are feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So that's interesting. So there is this like childlike, I want to say innocence about you, which gives you this visionary quality. I mean, do you love it? Now we get the visionary card for you. Also, I'm really noticing the reds and the orange. The first and second chakra are probably also very important themes of your life. So the first chakra we know is about security, foundation, even tribal energy. So there's something about building on a family empire, maybe of some kind too. There's archetypal family energies. Like, I'm trying to, hold on a minute. Let me just kind of tune into what's coming through here. There's something about maybe your parents or your grandparents and what they created or what they saw in the future, and somehow maybe you can carry that on. Maybe they actually didn't have the same emperor energy. For some of you, they do. Some of you, they don't. But you actually do have this. So there's something maybe about you being able to actually make manifest the dreams of your ancestors. And I really feel that there's going to be some of you who totally get that. And if that doesn't make sense to you, don't try to make it fit. Okay, we're going to look at the rest of the cards, but I also wanted to read the light and the dark of the visionary. So the light attribute is capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. And the shadow is selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Really, to me, what that feels like it's saying is, again, not to miss any steps along your heroine or hero's journey. We have to remember that each step is equally important as the rest. So there's something that is going to resonate with you right now in your life. It feels like there's a message somewhere in your life right now that maybe you wanted to jump ahead in some way, or you're getting frustrated with the time that things are taking. Again, this feeling about patience, I think, is important for you to hear right now. And you will know what that means. So, that's just going to be, I think, maybe a theme, another energy that your soul chose to work with in this life. So like a lesson, right? We each have our strong archetypes that are supporting us. And then we also have energies in our energetic blueprint that are the greatest lessons of our life. So there might be some lesson for you around time and patience, and really taking each step as it comes. For some reason, this feels relevant to mention to you. So my background is musical theater, and I was an actor my whole life. And so I understand how to create art inside of beats. Let me explain that. So you don't ever want, let's say we're working inside of a scene, an acting scene, right? Like there's a mother and daughter, and they're in a kitchen and they're having a conversation. So if you read the whole scene, a lot of actors who are at the very beginning of their journey, who maybe haven't studied yet and they just have a natural gift or whatever that is, they are acting in the scene, and they read the whole scene, and they see at the end of the scene, the daughter cries, right? So they feel like now the whole scene is going to be sad. So they end up playing this emotion of sadness throughout the scene. But what ends up happening is the sadness doesn't make any sense, and the scene, for lack of a better word, just kind of sucks. And the reason is because they didn't allow themselves to be in the present moment and work each beat, which is what we call it in acting, each moment by moment by moment by moment to unfold, because each moment is as equally as important as the next, and they build on each other. And we can't get to the end of the scene, the big breakthrough, the big breakdown that happens. We can't get to the climax if we don't allow for each moment to unfold. And that is how you actually create art, moment by moment by moment by moment. So if you really are this visionary that I see you as in these cards right now, and you really do have this emperor energy within you that can build an empire, it's going to be so important that you allow yourself to take each step that you need to take along the way, and not try to have it all figured out. Just know that life will provide you all of the answers and all of the ingredients to creating your great work of art, which is your life, in each moment of your life. Okay, so then we have, the moon card. I love this card. Mama Kila, I believe it is, from the Goddess deck. And this is the moon. So the moon is really all about cycles. And oh my gosh, it's exactly what I was just saying, which is cycles are about living in each moment, moment by moment, and how important it is, again, to know which cycle you're in. So you might be right now in the cycle of visionary, You might have built things in the past and they have failed. Relationships, businesses, houses, etc. And they failed. And for whatever reason, you're still attached to them. Okay, because then we have the card of attachment. So we're just going to add this on. I feel like this is super important. It's so important for you as this visionary, as this heroine, hero archetype who actually builds great things in the world, to let go of what didn't work before. Let go of the steps that came before you. They will build upon each other. Of course, they're there to teach you things, and you gather all of that wisdom, that knowledge, that insight, that information, and you take it with you, but you don't hang on energetically, emotionally to the past, because what ends up happening is that you energetically hold yourself into a different time period. Remember, we were talking about time earlier and how we're really working in this law of time, in this reality that we're living in right now. And in order to manifest in this realm, we have to be in a space of no time. I know that sounds like a paradox, but all great philosophical ideas are paradoxical in nature. So this is no different, in that we are working in the constructs of time, right? In order to build anything in this realm, it takes time. And also, the other side of that is that we have to always be in the present moment if we actually want to make manifest our dreams, our desires, etc. So that means that if you're trying to build a new relationship, let's say, but you're still heartbroken from your past breakup, because you haven't done the work to heal and process those wounds. Of course, nobody's perfect. We're not talking about perfection here, but we are looking at whatever energies your soul thought was important for you to look at right now. And that's really what we're talking about, right? What are the archetypes and the energies that your soul is working with? And what are the lessons that you want to learn? So there's something about attachment and cycles. So there's something about you having trouble with letting go of what happened before. And here's this guy. He is a visionary. He is looking to the future, right? This is what we start your whole reading off with. And at the same time, he's kind of could be looking into the past. So we just want to make sure that we don't let ourselves, I don't know if you can see this woman. So she has a mask on, which she's taking off, thank goodness, but her arm is still chained to this pole, so she can't move forward. So she wants to be her authentic self. She wants to be this white dress, pure essence of who she truly is, and yet her past is holding her back. Who she was before. That's what it feels like. Maybe it has something to do with a past identity that you had before. You're going to know, again, what feels right for you. But to me, it kind of feels like something like you were someone before, and now you see yourself moving into a new energy, but it's hard for you to allow yourself to transform and transmute those past energies so that you can now become this new version of yourself, so that you can continue to unfold into this emperor energy, this builder of nations, if you will. So cycles and attachments and patience are going to be a big theme for you, I would bet, based on this reading. But what an incredible blueprint. You have this visionary energy, this person who can see higher and further than many others of us, who really can get a sense of where life is heading, who can then take that energy to build things over time, in time, to create an empire. So just know that you will be working in the constraints of time and things do take time. And all along the way, your task is to stay in the present moment and let go of old ideas about yourself, old failures, old heartbreaks. Allow yourself to heal and get excited again about this new future. Allow yourself to be who you are right now in this present moment. So I think this is a perfect way to end the reading. And now we're going to move on to a little prayer, a short prayer and meditation. If you would like to join us, that would be amazing. If not, this is our end. And I thank you so much for your time and attention. And a thumbs up or a subscribe to the channel if you liked it would be amazing. I'd love to see you again. So if you are staying for the prayer and meditation, I just invite you to take a moment to get comfy in your chair and put your feet on the ground. Really feel your sits bones in the chair. Let your belly go. Feel your breath moving in and out slowly and easily. And really feel the weight of your legs on top of your feet. All 10 toes, the balls of your feet, and your heels firmly planted on the ground. And now I want you to imagine a root system that starts from your hips, goes all the way down your legs, and out through the bottom of your feet. And this root system grows quickly and strongly down into the earth beneath you, growing deeper and deeper down into the earth, finding its way to the very core of the earth. And at the core of the earth is a giant old crystal that has been waiting for you since the very beginning of time. And watch your cord, your root system, wrap itself around this giant crystal 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And feel yourself now grounded to the very core of the earth. Feel that presence, safe in this present moment, here and now. Now, inside of this crystal holds an ancient wisdom just for you. And I want you to take a moment and allow yourself to feel whatever may arise from this crystal. It could be a vision, an idea, a feeling, and it may come now, it may come later. Just allow for it to come. Give it permission. And now I call upon the energies of your higher self, that aspect of you that resides with the divine. And I ask this part of you to give you all of the vision that you can handle, to give you clear sight into your future, to give you permission to let go of all of your failures, all of your heartbreaks, all of your disappointments in life, to give you peace of mind in knowing that you are exactly where you need to be right now in this present moment. To let you know that all of your failures and all of your disappointments were perfectly divinely ordered. They were all a part of your soul's journey in this life. There's no such thing as failure. There's only lessons. And with each lesson comes new opportunity, comes new vision, comes new clarity, comes new insight, comes new wisdom. And you have learned so much in your life. And there is so much more for you to learn. And I invite your soul to move into your life, to align with you, so that you can walk in resonance and peace, in knowing that each moment, moment by moment by moment, is exactly where you need to be. All is well, right now, right here, in this present moment. Thank you so much, Group 1, for your time and your attention. I send you so much love and so much light, and until next time, be well. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different kinds of cards today, some non-traditional tarot cards, some oracle cards. We're going to look at them each one by one, and then we'll really see the larger blueprint that wants to unfold. Okay, here we go. Our first card is the Hanged Man. Now, I look at cards for the light attributes and the shadow attributes in each one. So it doesn't really matter to me if they're reversed or they're not. I like to see them all together and the patterns that unfold when they are together. Okay, interesting. So we have the Hanged Man right next to the Strength card. And then the third tarot that we have here is the Three of Cups. So I can see right away that you have a very unique perspective of life that makes you very good socially, like quite charming. Like people enjoy being around you because you add something very unique to the group, which makes you probably stand out in many ways, which could have potentially made you sort of become strong within your family. Like a lot of times if we, like I'm hearing black sheep. Now this is a general reading, so this may apply to some of you and not others of you. You have to just sort of fit it into your life if it feels right, obviously. So how this may play out in one's life is that you come into a family and you have very different ideas about how things are supposed to go in life, how things are supposed to be in life. And this may be so different from the rest of your family that you can be ostracized in a way. Or maybe for others of you, you incarnated into a family that was very accepting and loved your sort of unique take on things. But it feels like you definitely have this archetype of the seer, or someone who gets downloads from the divine that they can translate to other people, is what it's feeling like to me. And again, with this Strength card, strength isn't something that happens overnight. I do believe that it is an archetype that we're born with, sort of an energetic blueprint that we're born with. And usually when someone is born with something like an archetype of strength, it means that their life will present them opportunities to experience themselves as strong. So what does that mean? That means that sometimes life can be hard for those of us whose lesson or one of our archetypes is strength, so that we can know how strong we really are. So we can develop more those aspects of our character, our spirit, our body that make us strong. So these are more non-traditional tarot cards, and we have the Ace of Worlds and the Man of Worlds. The Ace of Worlds in this deck is success, and the Man of Worlds is achiever. Now, in a traditional tarot deck, these are pentacles. So this would be the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So the pentacles are all about the material realm, money, health, finances, the body. So initially I was thinking that maybe you are really good at creating in the material, or you're really good at money. You have that archetype. Also, I'm noticing on this deck, and I chose this deck intuitively for a reason, is the man running with the one on his chest. So there's something, and there's an independence about him. Like there's no one running around him. So there's an independent quality about you. And I'm also noticing the technology on this card. So again, it makes me feel like you do have this seer quality about you, where you can see things ahead of other people in a different, unique sort of way. I'm also noticing, I don't know if you can see this, if the glare is bad or not, but this looks like to me a rib cage, and then also what popped into my head was DNA. So there is something about family and the family line that is part of your energetic blueprint. Like you came here to do something within your line specifically. I think that most of us do come into our lives with some sort of contract in relation to our ancestry, that we are going to heal some aspect of this ancestry line. But for whatever reason, your cards wanted you to see this right now in this reading. Then we have Hera, the Alliance card. This is a card about joining people together. This is a card about bringing groups together. This can be also a card about leadership, because leaders are often the ones who bring people together. Again, I see this one, and then we have the Ace of Worlds, which is a very creative force materially. So there's something, and the Three of Cups is super, super social. So you have this archetype of, maybe I'm hearing social butterfly, but it also could be just that you know how to bring people together. So if that is a quality that you haven't been working with yet, I would suggest maybe looking into that. And what I mean is, yes, socially, but also in a business sense. Again, this is a general reading, so, you have to look at your own life, but it seems clear that you have some gifts, some talents in the world of groups and socializing. So you may also be like a great salesperson, like great with people in many ways. Then we have the first chakra card, Archangel Michael, in this deck. So this is the first chakra is about survival, and it is also about ancestry and tribes. So again, there is something about the group dynamic or the tribal dynamic. So you might be someone who changes things within your tribe. So again, if we look at the light and the shadow of everything, when we look at the first chakra, it could mean that you are really good at the material. This is the material, this base chakra. Good with money, good with your family. It could also mean that that is a part of your life's journey to deal with the lessons that correspond to the first chakra. So that would be issues around tribal things, familial things, money things, scarcity kind of things. Let's see, the last three cards that we're going to look at are the Archetype cards by Carolyn Mace. I love these cards. So what's great about these cards too is they have both the light and the shadow on each one. So the first we have is the Destroyer card. The light attributes for you are releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Wow. The shadow attributes are intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. So this is this sort of iconoclast energy that you have. And if you don't know what that means, an icon is an archetype, very much so, an archetype in our society that we revere in some way. So, Marilyn Monroe is the archetype of the sexy bombshell, right? But then we might have like the Madonna as a character. She might be more of the iconoclast. So yeah, she is that sort of sexy bombshell, but she also has this sort of like edgy rebel in her. I don't know if you like or dislike either of these figures, But I think that's kind of a good example. Like, it seems to me like you have sort of a rebel quality about you, and that is by design. That's actually in your energetic blueprint. So if that's something that you've made yourself wrong about in the past, the cards want you to know very clearly that this is actually also a strength. It's a gift. It is a part of your path in this life to change things. And when we change things, people don't often like it. People like things to stay the same. So if you've had a lot of pushback in your family, in your friend groups, I wouldn't be surprised, because although you can also be the super social, interesting, quirky person who leads groups, who brings people together, you can also destroy old patterns, old paradigms, old group think. And people don't like that. So you could have been ostracized for that in your life as well. But again, that is a part of your archetype. It is the energies that you're working with. It's not the truth of who you are. So for some reason, this feels important to make this distinction right now. You are not your energetic blueprint. You are not any of these cards. You are not any of these archetypes. You are the spark of creation. You are a son or daughter of the Most High God, which means that you hold within you the capacity to experience any archetype that exists in the divine realm. However, you came into this specific life to work inside of specific archetypes, and that's what we're looking at here. So although we are sort of digging into the energies that you're working with in this life, and it can be super exciting and enlightening to understand why it is that you've had trouble in certain areas of your life, or why it is that you have certain strengths or abilities in certain areas of your life. It's also important to always keep a sort of compassionate observer, almost a distance about your observations, so that you don't attach yourself too fully to them, so that you can always also understand that you hold the divine within you, and that divine is connected to the all, the everything, the absolute, and that's also who you are. Okay, so why I say that is because you can transform or transmute any of these energies as well. You have free will. You have the power of the divine within you. So if there's something that you're working with and through in your life, and you're like, I am done with that. I don't want this destroyer energy in my life anymore. It's not working for me. You can transform that, transmute that into something that, into something more of an experience of this life that you would prefer. The next card that we have is the Don Juan. The light attributes are spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. The shadow is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So with this first chakra, you are sexy, I imagine. You have a real sex appeal about you. You are very seductive. And it's interesting with the destroyer card, that destroying kind of rebel energy is very sexy for many of us. I myself have been wooed by many a rebel in my day, and they are very, very seductive. So with that seductive energy comes a lot of power, because people are drawn to you. There's something mysterious about you too, I imagine, especially with this hanged man energy. This is an energy about literally being sort of above the fray, I'm hearing. So there's an aspect of you that really has this higher perspective of things. And it is seductive. It's mysterious, because a lot of people down here, they don't see things the way that you see things. And I imagine that unique quality about you, it's like a quirkiness too, I feel about you, that maybe you had a super quirky phase in your childhood that you didn't like, and then it turns out that you're the sort of like interesting, seductive one when we get older. That I feel that about. I just heard ugly duckling. So maybe there was something about you that in your childhood or in your family, you didn't feel like you fit in. And now as you've gotten older, and I would imagine as the older that you get, the more you grow into yourself, the more those qualities that you rejected about yourself in your childhood, you are going to grow to really love about yourself. These very unique qualities. It's like, I'm also reminded of, like I grew up in the 80s and it was like nerds were, so we didn't like nerds. Who wants to be a nerd? And then like in the 90s and the 2000s, they became the like cool ones. Why? Because computers became popular, right? And nerds were the ones who did well with computers and they made money and they were successful in the world. And all of a sudden, a nerd is sexy. Well, there's something like that about you. You have this, again, this seer. So you're ahead sometimes of the rest of society, which makes you feel uncomfortable in the moment. But then over time, you're like, see, guys, I told you. There's something about you like that because you're also the guide. I can't make this up, guys. The guide. The light attributes of the archetype of the guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. This is what I was saying with this hanged man energy. You see how she has the owl on her finger? You see above things, you see beyond things, and you go, hey guys, look over there. There's water on the other side of the mountain. But what ends up happening is a lot of times people are like, you're crazy. This person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Some people may follow you and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. But you really wanted the other people that didn't follow you. So there's something about that too that I think is important to let you know that like with this energy of the guide, the destroyer, the seductive energy, some people will want to come with you and some people won't, and that's okay. And a part of your journey is just allowing for that to happen and knowing that as the guide, as the seer, as the one who goes first, this strength energy can be a leadership energy. The one who goes first sometimes goes alone for a little while. Not always, but for a little while. But again, you have this coupled with this beautiful energy of the Three of Cups and the Alliance, which is bringing people together. So you might not be the one who necessarily wants to go into a group and stay there. You might be someone who likes to bounce around different groups. But with that same energy where you can kind of go anywhere because you do see things sort of unique, so you don't really lock yourself into one group, you also have the capacity to bring groups together, this alliance energy, which I think is important for you. The shadow attributes of the guide are places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So that doesn't feel like anything necessarily that you need to be concerned with, although if it does ring true for you, then you'll know that. But I think that the shadow attributes that want to be spoken about here are more about how you've treated yourself in regard to these qualities and how sometimes you might beat yourself up for being unique, or this sort of iconoclast or this destroyer energy, and you're like, why did I do it again? I just blew that whole thing up. Well, it's a part of your soul's mission. It's what you came here to do, blow things up. And the destroyer is not always loved, but the guide is. And so you're working with both. You know, someone who breaks things apart and someone who leads in a whole new direction. It is a beautiful, beautiful blueprint that you're working with. Really, really powerful. And like I said, if you haven't seen success or achievement in your life, again, this is a general reading, so you guys are going to be at different places in your life. I would say it feels important that I mention that this power that you have to bring people together is going to benefit you in business in some way. So I just heard event planner, or that would be a very sort of like basic idea of bringing people together, obviously, but you could also work in politics, bringing people together, a salesperson, something with showing people the way, like a way shower of some kind. And with that becomes a lot of material success. You definitely have in your blueprint the capacity to make a lot of money and do really well in the material realm. You got 2 pentacles here. So yeah, this could be about your health and your body. So if you are working with things inside of the health realm right now, in other words, with your own body and issues that you're dealing with, the cards want you to know that it is going to work out. Obviously, this is a general reading, and I don't know specifically what's going on with each of you, but it feels like there is like this new dawn, this new awakening of success in the material, with money, with your body, with health, with all of it. And it is like also important. My focus keeps being drawn to, I know that there's a terrible glare, so I just want to make sure that you can see this. This guy with a 1 on his chest as he's leading the pack forward, although there is no runners behind him. He's all alone. He can't see any of the other runners, but he knows he's in the race. So that's important for you. Like, just because people may not be following you necessarily right now, or you feel like you're all alone, you're still in it. I don't know why that just feels important for you to know. Like, you're still in the game. You're still in the race. Don't stop. I guess that is what the message is with this card. It's like, don't stop. There are things that you're breaking up. There are things that you're seeing. There are ways that you're guiding people forward, and it is important for you to continue to do that. Even if you can't see where it's taking you right now, even if you can't see the end, or you can't see how this is going to positively impact yourself or other people, like in interesting ways that you're moving forward in your life, just know that over time, people wake up in their own time. People see things in their own time. So if you have frustrations about people are not seeing this new perspective that I have, people don't want to come with me, it's okay. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. You will find your tribe. You will find your alliances. And part of your life's journey is really to enjoy people. Find your tribe, I keep hearing. Like, attract your tribe, find your tribe, just know that they're out there. And you may already be a super social person and you're like, not a problem. Others of you haven't found it yet because you do have this uniqueness about you. So I think it's just important to end with that yes, you are unique, and it may come with some difficulties, but also all of these really exciting things that you have the capacity to create in your life. You're definitely not a follower. You are a way shower. You are a guide. You are a leader. You are an achiever. So just know that you have that within you as well. Okay, group 2, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'd love to do just a little meditation and prayer for those of you who are interested in sticking around. It's just going to be a short one. For those that aren't, thank you so much for your time and attention. And I would love to see you for the next reading. Maybe you want to subscribe to the channel or give me a thumbs up if this resonated with you, or leave me a comment in the section below about how this was or what you would like to see next. That would be awesome for me. As you see, I'm just kind of starting this. So let's just take a moment for those of you who are going to stick around to really get comfy in your chair and put your feet on the ground. Feel your sits bones in the chair and relax your back into the chair wherever you're sitting. Let your belly go. Really feel the weight of your legs on top of your feet, all 10 toes, the balls of your feet and your heels firmly planted on the ground. And just notice the ground beneath you, always there, always supporting you. And now you're going to grow a giant root system that starts from your hips, like a trunk of a tree, grows down your legs and out through the bottom of your feet. And this root system is strong and grows quickly down into the earth beneath you, growing deeper and deeper down into the core of the earth. And at the very core of the earth is a giant quartz crystal that has been waiting for you since the very beginning of time. Now I want you to watch your cords, your root system, wrap itself around this crystal 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And just feel that connection to the deep wisdom of the earth right here, right now, in this present moment. Now, this crystal has information for you that is divinely being guided to you. And just allow yourself to take in this information. It may come with some sort of insight, a vision, an idea, a feeling that might happen right now in this moment, or it might happen later. Just allow it to come as it wants. And now I want you to bring your awareness, just knowing that you are connected to that crystal. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. About 3 inches above your head is a giant sun, your own private sun, that shines down over your head, your face, your shoulders, your chest, your whole body. And with this sun comes all of the love and protection from the whole universe. Feel the warmth of that sun shining down over you. Know that you are always being divinely guided. That your visions, that your insights are coming directly from your higher self. And know that with this vision, with this clarity, with this guidance, comes a very unique path. One that is designed to create new things, to create new patterns, new paradigms, new paths for people to walk down. And know that your soul signed up for this before you ever got here. Your soul is always guiding, is always directing you. You are always in the right place. And allow yourself to take each step as it comes, knowing that it is always divinely ordered. Okay, group 2, I am so grateful to have spent this time with you. I hope that it's brought you some insight and some clarity and a little peace of mind. I hope that you go about your day with a little more peace and joy in your heart. I send you so much love and so much light, and until next time, be well. Hi, group 3, welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be using a variety of different cards today, some traditional tarot, non-traditional tarot, oracle cards. We'll really look at them all one by one, and then we'll see the larger story and energetic blueprint that wants to unfold. Wow, powerful. We start with the Star card. The Star card to me is about hope. It is about freedom for some reason, I just heard. That's really interesting. Spiritual freedom in a lot of ways, I think, of the Star card. And we see all of her chakras being represented here, all 7 chakras. And it feels like there is an alignment here with all 7 chakras. This feels very spiritual to me. Both this group and the group before, for sure. Wow. Okay, then we have the High Priest, or the Hierophant, or the Pope card, and then we have the 6 of Pentacles. So you could be a spiritual leader in some sort of community, or a teacher of some kind. It feels like you definitely are holding within you the archetype of the spiritual teacher. So if you're not already, that might be something that is interesting to you and you've been thinking about that. Well, that's definitely in your blueprint. And I'm noticing the keys here. So it feels like you have the keys to unlock some sort of esoteric mysteries or spiritual mysteries. There's something that you can really translate to people. So this Hierophant card is a great translator, this archetypal energy. This is someone who brings spiritual wisdom down into the material realm and translates it in a way that we can all understand it, right? I mean, that historically is like what the Pope is sort of represented, right? This conduit of divine intelligence to the common man. And it definitely feels like you hold that archetype. Then we have with us also the Six of Pentacles. So this is about giving and taking and generosity. So that might be a theme in your life. That maybe you have had a strength with one or the other, like you're more giving or more receiving, or it's difficult for you to receive things. That's what it feels like to me, that maybe you're very comfortable at giving in your life, but receiving maybe not so much. We'll see what else we have here. So then we have these non-traditional tarot cards, and we have the Nine of Cups and the Six of Cups. The Nine of Cups here is fulfillment, and the Six of Cups here is sorrow. Interesting. So there is this emotional depth that you have that comes with this spiritual wisdom. And so there's something that is like you might have had issues with balance, emotional balance, like you're really fulfilled and happy, or you're really sad and bummed out. So it's like this sort of like manic energy. I'm not at all saying that you are a manic depressive. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it seems like, according to the cards, you might have had highs and lows in your life. Now, for example, I've had a lot of highs and lows in my life. I come from a life of musical theater. I've always been like an artist and a healer. I've had a lot of death in my life. I've had a lot of emotional lows. My mom died when I was young. I took care of my dad, and my grandmother, my brother also died when I was younger. So it's like, with these depths of emotion also come with a lot of spiritual wisdom. Okay, so sometimes we have to go to the very bottom of humanity, or energetically the sort of like emotional bottom, to understand the very high of highs, and also to understand the depth of what it is to be human. So there's something about you that has had a great number of experiences in your life that have given you a lot of wisdom. So like in the last group, I saw that they had a lot of strength, like that's an archetype. So whatever archetype we're working inside of, we're going to be working with both the shadow and the light attributes. That's just kind of how it goes. That's how we learn that archetype. So yeah, we hold within us all of the strengths, but also the weaknesses. So, in the last group, they held the archetype of the Strength card. So what that means is their life is going to give them circumstances that are hard to get over so they can experience themselves as being strong. Similar to you, like having this spiritual teacher energy within you means that your soul is going to give you circumstances in your life that you can learn those spiritual insights and depths. So, my sense is that it has to do with your emotions, and that your emotions really can either be your guide, they can also be your detriment. They can hold you back. It is something that you will have to work within in your lifetime. I'm also noticing the glasses of wine, a lot of glasses of wine here in this 9 of Cups energy. So alcoholism or, that's a big word, I realize. Maybe some sort of addictive behavior, drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, or just even attachments or like compulsive behavior around your emotions. So like, whatever that means to you, it's going to be so specific to each one of you. And because this is a general reading, I don't want to get too specific about that, but it does feel like there is maybe a draw for you to go deep into those sad emotions. And although it is important to explore them and to feel them, we also want to make sure that we don't, I hear trapped. We want to make sure that you don't get trapped in those lower vibratory emotions. You don't want to make that your home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go swim around in there and feel it and get into it. Ooh, gosh, this is heavy and deep and sad. And then know that that is not the truth of who you are. It doesn't have to be the truth of your experience. It is certainly not somewhere where you want to live. And you come back up to the surface. Yeah? Let's see what other cards we get for you. So these next 3 cards are from Carolyn Mace's archetype cards, and I absolutely love these. So we have the Mentor card, beautiful card. I love this card. The light attribute is passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. I mean, we couldn't make this up. Okay, I have to put them all down because I'm looking at them right now. We have the Mentor card, the Priest card, and the Messiah card. I mean, when the cards lay out so beautifully like this, I am just always, I don't know why I'm always surprised, because I've been seeing this for some time now, but I'm just like, wow, I'm blown away, you guys. So the priest, we got it twice, guys. The Messiah and the Mentor. So you are, the spiritual teacher in you is a huge theme of your life. So if you're not already the mentor, the guide, the priest in your life, I imagine you're already like that, probably with your friends, with your family. And it may not be something that you do with money, but my eyes were just drawn to this 6 of Pentacles. So it might be something great if you are kind of trying to find your purpose, your path in life. You might be able to actually make a living at this. Okay, so let's look at the light and the shadow of each of these cards. So the light attribute of the Mentor card are passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. The shadow is inability to allow the student to move on I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry. This is why I'm reading like I'm a second grader here. Inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instructions. Okay, let's look at the light and the shadow of the priest. The light facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Absolutely. This is what this star card is all about. Like, you're in alignment with your higher self. Powerful readings today. My gosh, you guys are all like star seeds, I would imagine. The shadow attributes of the priest are violates the trust of your spiritual community and seduced by your own spiritual role. The Messiah is the light attributes, serving humanity with humility. The shadow is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. So what this feels like to me, the shadow that wants to be revealed here, is what I was picking up on earlier with the 6 of Pentacles, which is that you might be very comfortable as the teacher, as the giver, as the Messiah. Even like with the Messiah energy comes this sort of martyr energy, like, no, I'm going to give myself to you. I am going to always be the one to make sacrifices. But what's important is that you also allow yourself to receive, because it's equally as important that others give, because it is this other side of the same coin, right? It's opposing polarities of the same spectrum. So you have to experience it at every level, the giving and the receiving. So that also means that it's important that you allow yourself to learn from other people as well. You have to allow people to contribute to you materially, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. So maybe there's something about you that like you get really blue and then you kind of go into your shell. Like maybe you're working with some Cancerian energy, something like that, where you have a breakdown or you get really sad about something and then you retreat within yourself and you don't allow other people to love you, to support you, to hold you when you need to be held. It seems like that's an important message for you to hear. Let's see what other cards we have here. So we have the Spider Woman card, the co-creation Spider Woman card from the Goddess deck. So what is this trying to say here? So let's see. The co-creation card is about weaving things together. It can be about weaving tales, weaving lies, but what it feels like to me is what's important to see about this card is co-creation. Okay, so although you are getting these downloads from the divine and you do see things and you do have these this clarity about how to serve humanity, it's important that you allow, again, others to contribute to you or contribute to your ideas in some way, and that you co-create with not just the divine, right? So those ideas, that information that you're getting, that you're channeling, is coming from a higher source, your higher self, most likely, that aspect of you that resides with the divine. And that is so important. But it also seems important that there's others that also can contribute to you. So that might be very specific to some of you. Like maybe that rings true for you, like a message that you need to hear right now. Like maybe you were working on some sort of a project alone and someone wanted to contribute and you pushed them away or something like that. Obviously, that's very specific, but there's something about allowing others to contribute and the power that you might have in co-creating certain aspects of your life with other people. That's important. And the last card that we have is the Healer of the Ages. So this might show up as you're a healer. Okay, so a spiritual teacher and a healer are all in the same realm. I see the power in his hands that's radiating this intense energy. You might have an ability to heal people with your hands. You might be a massage therapist or an energy healer, or you might get into Reiki, or maybe Reiki is something that you've been curious about, or some sort of energy work. I would say go for it, because it is without a doubt in your spiritual blueprint. If this is resonating with you, then it's important that you know that you have the power of this healer within you. And again, with this archetype of the healer and the spiritual teacher and the Messiah comes a lot of times dark energies is what I'm hearing, dark emotional energies. Because the truth is, and I don't mean to sound like, like I don't want to scare you or something, but the truth is, the more light that you channel into your body, there's two ways of looking at it. It's like, one way is that the dark is sometimes attracted to the light, right? So you have all of this divine energy channeling within you, and the darkness is like, ooh, look at all of that light. And they're drawn to it like a moth to a flame. So you might feel that dark energy around you, think that it is you, and really sort of succumb to it. The other side of it is the more light that you allow yourself to channel in, right? And the more you resist the urge to swim so deeply into those dark emotional depths, sense. The more you can maintain a higher frequency, the less the darkness will be drawn to you, because the higher you get, you get to a point where they can't even see you, or at least not touch you or affect you. That was kind of a tangent, but I don't know. It just felt like I needed to say that for like a specific group of you. But wow, powerful energies that you're working with. The spiritual teacher, the healer. I mean, if you are like wondering about a career change, I know I'm filming this during the coronavirus lockdown, and a lot of us have lost our jobs and are transitioning into new things in life. And if that's you and you're wondering where to go, it is very clear that the healer, the priest, the high priestess, whether you're a man or a woman, right? The spiritual guide is absolutely in your field, in your energetic blueprint. And I would suggest that you start working with those energies. Take a class, start reading books. Like, it's all around you, and it's really, really powerful. And if you have been feeling really blue, or maybe you have been doing these lows and highs, I know that I have been on a full spectrum of emotions lately, because I think there's a lot of shadows that are being purged right now on the planet. Again, I'm going to go off, pardon me, on a little tangent, but I believe that many of you who are watching this will resonate with this. I believe that our planet is ascending right now. We are moving into a higher frequency. And because of that, it's kind of like cockroaches I lived in New York City for a long time, and we had to deal with cockroaches a lot. So if you don't know about cockroaches, let me explain. They hide in the shadows. So let's say it's the middle of the night and you walk into your kitchen and you turn on the light, and all of a sudden all these cockroaches come scattering out, and you're like, oh my God, I never knew I had cockroaches. This is terrible. It's actually not terrible. It's great, because now you know you have cockroaches. Now you can do something about it. Well, that's what's happening on the planet right now, is that we are ascending to this higher frequency. All of this light is being poured down onto the planet right now, or is awakening on the planet right now. And because of that, all of the darkness is going to start to scatter. So that happens as above, so below. That's what we're all experiencing on an individual level as well. So that means that the shadows within you might be coming to the surface right now. So you might be seeing a lot of old sadness that may not even be coming from your life right now. It might be from past life energy. It might be from ancestral energy, but if you really do hold these higher frequencies of this Messiah, this priest, this mentor, this healer, these are very high, refined frequencies, okay? Then you are going to have to purge all of that shadow stuff within you if you haven't already. That's a part of your path. You have to work through those energies so that you have, you harness more of this light, and you understand the shadow of what it is to be human. It's important. But my sense is that right now you are purging a lot of shadows. So I think it's just important to say that that's okay. And you're going to work through this, and that is a part of your soul's journey, and that your energetic blueprint of the priest, the priestess, the healer, you're going to be working with large archetypal energies, large ones, because your soul has a big mission. If you're interested in bringing more light on the planet and holding more light on the planet, which is what the spiritual teacher does, which is what the healer does, right? What does the healer do? The healer transmutes the shadow to light. Well, if that's what you're going to be doing here, and I hope that you are, because we need more of you on the planet, then you have to learn to work with the shadow within you and learn that it is not you. It is an aspect of you, but it is not the truth of who you are, right? You are so much greater than that. You are a divine emanation of the Most High God. You have the Creator within you. You have every spectrum of light within you. So whatever is coming up, you want to be the compassionate observer of it, but don't attach yourself to it. You are not sadness. You are not grief, right? You are light, love, creation. You are bliss. You are peace. That is the truth of who you are. Everything else is not that. Which doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that it's not static. It's not supposed to stick around. It's just supposed to move through and out and through and out. So it feels like part of your journey here is witnessing, becoming that, learning to become the observer of your emotions and not getting stuck with them, if that makes sense. Wow, group 3, you guys are powerful. And I feel very tingly, kind of tapping into your energy. It's like, I'm excited for you. And I thank you for taking on this energetic blueprint. I thank you for taking on these archetypes, because the earth needs souls like you here. So thank you for coming here. And thank you for bringing more light onto the planet. So group 3, if this resonated with you, a thumbs up would be amazing. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing more sort of spiritual, deeper questions, kind of pick a cards. So maybe others will resonate with you as well. I'm going to do just a really short meditation and prayer for those of you who want to stick around. Go ahead and get comfy in your seat and put your feet on the ground. Really feel the weight of your legs on top of your feet, all 10 toes, the balls of your feet and your heels firmly planted on the ground. Relax your back into the chair and let your belly go. Let your breath just drop all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And feel that breath of life. Where is it coming from? Trace it all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. Where does that breath come from? That infinite source of life that is always flowing through you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to change anything. It is the truth of who you are, this breath of life. Life is who you are. I call upon the energies of your higher self to guide you on your path, to allow your 7th chakra to fully open so that you can accept the divine guidance that is being channeled into you. To allow your spirit body to fully embody your physical body, so that you can bring all of that divine wisdom within you into the material plane. To remind yourself here in this now moment that you are safe, that all of your needs are met, that the divine guidance that is being channeled through you needs to be shown, needs to be heard, and with it comes protection from the divine. That you are not alone in this journey. You are never alone in this journey. You have a team of guides, ancestors, angels, always with you, always supporting you. Every step that you need to take will be illuminated. Any person that you need on your path will be shown to you. I'm hearing that it's important that you connect with your higher self on a regular basis, so that you start to learn to trust the guidance that's being given to you. Just connect to that breath and go up and back. It feels important to go up and back to meet your higher self. Your higher self is there right now with you right now, whispering in your ear, expanding in your heart. Go ahead and bring your awareness to your heart right now and notice a green light begin to shine brighter and brighter. brighter and brighter. Now this green, warm, loving light of the divine is shining within every cell of your body. It's pouring out into your auric field, filling your energy body, and it pours out all around you into a bubble of green, protective light. Know that you are always protected, you are always guided, you are always loved. Thank you so much for your time, Group 3. It has been wonderful being with you. I hope that we get to spend more time together again. I send you so much love and so much light, and until next time, be well.